For those that don't know, like myself, could you indulge us on what the hell Inzoi is and what your thoughts are on it so far?
Okay, so remember The Sims back when The Sims was actually good, like Sims
Nope.
1, 2, 3? Yeah, Inzoi is basically made by Korean developers and has made a game that's very much inspired by The Sims, except that they really give you like a I guess like an urban little world to indulge in as well, while also, making sure that your character is taken care of and whatnot. And I played it for about 6 hours today. I spent an absorbent amount of time creating my character. I made a very attractive Ginzo. Okay, he's very attractive young adult Ginzo who's named Waluigi. Esposito. And he's going throughout the world, and the one thing I love about the game is that the game is obsessed with cats, almost about as much as I am. So that's pretty awesome. There's like cat shit everywhere, like paintings, fucking statues. Like
Oh, I
this
took that
game.
literally. I thought you meant there was cat shit
Yeah, I was about to say,
I
everywhere.
wait,
mean,
what?
I was like,
there might
whoa.
be. You do have to clean your house because your house will get dusty and full of cat shit if you don't clean it. So
Oh,
yeah, it is it's one of those games that if you like Sims, you would love this. It does things that The Sims never did from what I remember. But if you don't like that kind of stuff, you don't like real life simulations, this is not for you. This definitely appeals to like mostly women. Because it has that
glad you said it.
decorative real life that decorative aspect to it. It has like that real life simulation. The styles I think are truly vast with your characters. The details in this game are stuff The Sims wish that it could do. It really does take it to the next level. I'm shocked that this is an early access video game, and the game runs pretty fucking well on PC. For me, I'm running at like medium settings. I'm hitting 60 FPS, pretty much locked most of the time. So it is a little bit taxing on the PC, but uh, nothing that isn't within reason.
Well, I'll tell you where The Sims lost me because I used to be a huge hardcore Sims player, especially Sims 2. Loved it. Like I
Hell
played the
yeah.
shit out of it. I'm a big fan of this style game. The
I'm
Sims
sorry.
lost me when EA bought Maxis and then turned it into a DLC microtransaction like insanely infested game where I'm like I ain't doing this. Like I'm just not gonna bother because there's too
Yeah.
much and it's like they nickel and dime everything about it. Is there any of that in this game?
No, I don't think that. I think the devs have said like they're gonna do free updates. Like the game has an insane amount of shit to it. Like you'd be shocked. Like the Sims 4 is just a DLC nightmare, and whereas this game just has all this stuff, and you do all this shit, and you just pay. And given I think that $40 can be a little bit of a hefty price tag for a game that's in early access. But this game in early access, from what I played so far, I've only played 6 hours. But what I played thus far, this game in early access is really like a lot of detail, pretty decent performance overall, a lot of options, and just a lot to do in the game. So it does offer a lot at a $40 early access price tag. So
Now, does it have gay romance options in it?
from what I've seen, you technically can.
Okay.
But I think that most of the in-game characters, I think you'd have to technically make those characters. So you'd have to essentially make the characters and give them sexualities, specific sexualities that make them be able to romance each other, sort of deal. Especially if you're non-binary, apparently. So
And
pretty much all the characters start out based. You would essentially have to be like, well, I don't want to be based, and then
did I see
interject
some?
your
Correct me if I'm
strange
wrong.
characters.
Did I see some pushback that there are people fighting about how you should be able to have kids even if you're in a gay romance in the game?
Ugh.
Was that
Oh
this
yeah,
game? No.
there's a weirdo that posted some fucking like review on Steam that was crying about that shit. Um, look, man, that's what mods are for, right? For
Yeah.
me, I don't give a fuck to have that shit in my game. But if you want to, hey, make a fucking mod for it. What can I tell you? They try to allot as many options as possible in the game, while also in at least from what I've seen being sensible. So there's that.
I mean, just watching the trailer here, it looks very detailed and in depth. Like you could literally create whatever the hell you
And then, like
want.
you can add shit to like add like different images and stuff to your game for like wallpapers and shit. From what I've seen.
From what I've heard, yes, I haven't even indulged in that. Like, there's so much to this game.
There's like a clip I saw. Somebody put like some cardboard cutouts of Shadow the Hedgehog on their lawn.
Oh, I wonder if that's cool. Right there with the blanket, like in the panda bears there. I wonder if that's what it was there.
It kind of reminds me when you go to like Home Depot to renovate your kitchen and they pull up the software. It's like that mixed with The Sims.
Yep.
Oh yeah. The virtual shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good.
Yeah.
This looks crazy, man. Look, I'm not really into these kind of games for real because I'm not a woman. But to be honest, this doesn't look. It doesn't look bad. You know, if I was like, hey, you know, I want to waste some time in a virtual world
in a virtual safe neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, hey, I like the way that it looks. It looks like what
I bet these buildings are more accurate than the Assassin's Creed ones right there.
Yeah, I'll just play I'll play Dragon Quest Builders because I'm autistic. Fuck that.
How is this an early access game? From this trailer.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? Why are there kids in this?
There are kids, yeah.
Oh, can't you run the kids over too?
There are kids. There are kids in Sims too.
Yeah. I know this is
crazy.
A trailer.
It's almost like as a life sim, it wants to emulate real life where children do exist. Like
exactly, real life simulator. You know, a safe.
So
South
is this
Korean
like a single player game or is it like an online game?
Yeah, good question.
It's a single player game.
So you can. There is no possibility of online interaction at all. You can't like.
Not that I know.
Someone else's. You can't visit someone else's like an Animal Crossing. You can go to someone else's village. You can't like visit someone else's town. I wonder. Maybe that's
what I noticed.
Not yet. Either way, I'm not sure if that's planned, but
I noticed that all of these like images of like people, it's always just like two people standing in front of each other. Where's everybody else at?
Well, they're all in this like neighborhood that I've gone into. So you can you start off in a home that you purchased after you create your character, and you really? Kind of get adjusted. You sort of get adjusted and all that, and then you could just simply go outside, take a walk in the neighborhood. I took my character and made him go play basketball, shoot some hoops, and afterwards he was talking to like two bitches that were randomly were on the street. So he ended up becoming friends with them, and he found out apparently that both of them are not married. So he was like, "Oh, big W, let's go! Like, yeah, let's be friends." And yeah, like you kind of just can go on your own little adventure, do whatever you want to do. It's honestly, I've only played it for 6 hours too. That was like making a character, but I'm interested to go try new things. There's like events in different communities. Like you can go take the subway and go to a community where they're having like a little like music event, and so there's a bunch of people there. You get to know them. You can take selfies with them, blah blah, all sorts of shit like that. It's crazy. I'm actually despite having put 6 hours into it, I've only like kind of scratched the surface.
Well, I was gonna say about the direction that Sims was going. This was inevitable, where someone's just like, you know what, we'll just do the Sims and not microtransaction the fuck out of people and actually get the Sims back to the players. And when I hear what you're saying and see what this is, and I'm like, this is a modern day Sims game that doesn't fuck over the player base, and that sounds amazing. My concern is it's in early access and you invest a lot of time and effort into this game, and then a year down the road they make an update to it, be like, oh, and now we're gonna have microtransactions for this, that, the other. It's like, what are we doing? That's my worry.
I mean, to me,
it's still more playable than Ember.
Yeah, I mean, like the game is so playable right now. Like for me, it's about like what is the quality of the time I'm investing now. Like, yeah, it could end up being a shit show at the end, but that's certainly always a potential situation with early access. But I'm enjoying the game right now as though it is a regular release, not early access game. And to me, it's like I'm having fun with the game right now. Hopefully, they'll continue on the right path. But hey, if I can get like this game is so good, if I can get more than 50 hours out of it and genuinely love that time, I mean, hey, it's a W to me.
How much time are you into it right now? About
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you feel like you
women
have
are gonna
surface with it?
I know one thing though. Women are gonna love this game. They're
absolutely.
They're like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen like all the mods they do for The Sims. They're gonna mod the fuck out of this game. They're gonna be like banging in trash cans and shit. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, the
Are there-
graphics are nuts because I'm coming from The Sims 2 is the last time
Mm.
I actually got into these games, and I'm comparing it to what I see on the screen here, and I'm like, this is
Yep.
this is a different galaxy. I'm like,
Did
damn,
someone build the Matrix into a video game?
that's what
like
it looks like. It's like impressive.
Are there
Impressive.
mods in
we
the
got a
game now?
jack in.
Hmm?
It's crazy.
And it's really cool, like the trait that you could choose, like basically the
Oh,
kind of
it'll
path,
let me
the type of
adopt.
person you want them to be, and what their life is like, what they want to get out of life. Overall, I think it's a really well balanced game in terms of like giving characters like a path, or just obviously customizing the shit out of them. You could spend hours. Like if you just love, like I know that the WWE wrestling games, there's a whole like player base just dedicated to creating characters. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
their
I
obsession.
used to be in one.
Yeah, they would those types of people will gravitate to this game and love the shit out of it. The amount of detail, customization, like you get obsessed in it because it's like you can make such a realistic looking character that you really want to get them just right, especially if you're trying to make a character that you think is cute, or if you want to make a character that is like the best version of yourself, or yourself in detail.
Or other
I always
people.
made
You
my
could make a
character like
smash.
Bruce Campbell, and it looks like I could definitely make Bruce Campbell in this game.
Yeah,
Indeed.
you can make
What were you
Michael
gonna say?
Jackson. I've already seen it. It's scary as fuck.
Which version?
We already
of them.
know the horror version.
All of them.
The scarecrow version, that one.
Ryan, you could even make a handsome version of yourself.
I know.
Are you
I
kidding?
know.
I think Ryan's more excited about the prospect of being able to live in a house.
Goddamn.
I was just amazed that this is an early access game. This is to The Sims what Pal World was to
Here's the
Pokemon, in
Pokemon.
my view.
Yes. That's
Well
exactly
said.
what I was thinking.
Hopefully EA is not devilish enough to try and sue these fuckers, but I don't think that'll.
Oh no, they
Happen,
can't.
but
What are
no.
they gonna do?
There's
That's
no
I
like-
don't
way.
think EA has all the patents and shit that
Dude, that's
Pokemon
like
has.
Nintendo trying to sue Ubisoft.
Okay, too much
for
of a
Rayman
comparison
because
then.
It's like
but
Mario.
this game looks fantastic, and I know women play this kind of game, but I'm really interested in playing this game, designing the city, designing the people, building my own perfect world where we will,
Anybody
have
else kinda
people
worried
like
that Ryan got
Peter
a
and,
god complex?
sheep. Moving on to the gunman. Yeah, shoot. Go on.
So Cassie mentioned mods. Do you know if mods are enabled in the game now?
So I don't know about mods in terms of whether they're in game now, but the developers have said that they're open to the modding community embracing the shit out of the game.
Oh
So
shit.
the game is open to be taken to whatever fucking level modders want to take it to.
Right, because I know some games they don't open up mods until later, until they get to a certain build of the game. So
Oh yeah, that game's gonna be freak nasty, man. Oh man. If it's
Yeah.
gonna be anything like the Sim, what's that? There's another game that females like to play where they mod the shit out
Bro,
of it.
there
and it's
are
like a-
already mods for this bitch. I type in, are there currently mods for Inzoi? First thing that pops up 17 hours ago on YouTube. Inzoi mods, insane mods for Inzoi beats Sims.
it's gonna be
Wow.
a massive hit. Yeah.
Yeah, one
You
day
know,
ago on Reddit, mods are already being made, r/Inzoi. Like,
There are,
Hey,
there are
AAA
such
game
things-
companies, look at what these guys are doing, assholes. Like it's
There's
really
such
that
things
simple.
as data miners will do that shit. Like it just reminds me of what's it, Pokemon Sun and Moon, for example. When they put that demo out and allowed people to play it, people data mined it and found every single new Pokemon that wasn't announced before the game release. And I was just like, that's the level of like autism that
yo,
myself could not
Raven
do.
Rainfall in the chat right now is fucking playing it Inzoi.
Oh yeah, she's been playing that shit all day.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
I keep
I
seeing her
just got
shit
the
pop up on my
notification.
screen.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Based.
She's doing it real hard.
So this is Inzoi in the game, and everything's great about it. But let's talk about the controversy that's come up about this. Are you guys familiar with the running over the kids situation?
Nope.
Yeah.
What
No.
convinced me
I mean,
to buy it.
Sort of.
What?
Well, if it happens in real life, it should happen in Inzoi.
What the
Okay.
fuck
What?
happened?
Kids do get run over in the real world. It should happen in Inzoi. Okay, it's reality based.
I mean, to be fair, I actually 100% agree with Ryan, and I said this on Hypnotic stream. I I chimed in on it saying like, oh, there's a patch coming in to stop being able to run over kids because it's offensive. And I'm like, so now there's no repercussion for running kids. They just don't get hit. They just stop the
Who is it
car.
offensive to though? If it's a single player game,
It's offensive to the people pushing buttons.
I think I mean, whether
Go fuck yourself.
depending on, they could project it as it being offensive, but I do know that the game is a T-rated game, and by that, the developers have to follow through that T rating. They have to make sure it doesn't hit M rating with what they're depicting, in the game.
Mhm.
and I saw the clip of someone running over the kid. Like you can barely actually
I
do
got
it in the
that. Hold
game.
on.
The car comes to a screeching halt when it just touches the kid. It's
Mhm.
not
I want to
It's
see the
almost as
clip.
though the physics aren't even there to do it in the first place. So
Well, breaking news: a real life simulator could be a real life simulator.
By the way, let
folks.
me see. I want to see if the kids get knocked off.
Yeah.
Whacking kids.
Oh my god.
Nice
see what I
distance.
mean?
Wow.
Bro, he fucking left.
The car picked one child to kill, and that was the child.
And like the game doesn't even know how to process it because none of the kids are
Mm.
freaking out, so they don't care.
It's
Yeah,
not
so
that it's not that the kid was black. It's that he looked like a piece of candy corn, and nobody likes.
Oh
candy
my
corn.
god. Well, I think in all fairness, the developers were
ragdoll physics.
saying that they didn't intend for that to happen. It wasn't a part of their, design, and clearly you could
Do
tell
you
by how
believe
that
that
happened.
really?
I mean, look how it happened. It doesn't look like it was designed for it to work out properly that way.
The
I
other
mean,
kids
they
were
had
like,
to-
"This is just a daily occurrence. Like we've seen this all the time."
But what's the patch gonna do? Make it so that you can't, when you hit a kid, they just don't move?
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
know.
I don't understand how this.
Just go through them. Just go
I don't
through
understand
them.
how this fixes a problem. And secondly, like, I don't like the line that's getting drawn right now with kids in games where it's like, oh, kids are off limits. You can't interact with
agree.
kids in video games at all now. And it's like, we're like,
Well,
I get
I mean,
the sexual
before this
stuff, I
stream-
get all that, but with the car, like, what are we doing?
It's
Well,
a
no,
little bit difficult.
before this stream, I mean, ABF, you were there because we were doing a review of the thing over on Niad's channel, and I was making the point that like I love movies and games and TV shows, whatever it may be, that allow for violence against children and animals. Not because like I want to see bad things happen to children and animals, because it does embrace you in that world. Like the immersion is there because that's how the real world works.
It is
Yeah.
a very touchy subject in entertainment. It always has been. Video games have not, for the longest time, had not really put children in the games because of this. I mean, it even harpens back to, for example, Halloween 5 being butchered in the editing floor because the little girl ended up getting stabbed in the leg while she was in the the parachute thing, and they had to cut that out of the
I've got
film.
the Kill Kids mod involved installed in Fallout 3 because like there's that whole town of children, Little Lamplighter,
Yeah.
and it's like again, I don't run around fucking murdering
McCready.
youngins, but
This
Yeah,
is
it's one of those things where gamers are going to do the most like retarded shit ever just because, and it's not like we're bad people because of that, but it does. If you as a developer are designing like a way to murder children, it could come off and it could come off wrong to people out there. Really
It can give censors a lot of ammunition, and that is why for the
yeah.
longest time children weren't really in like action-packed horror-fied projects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you guys: do you think that they should make the shrines or the temples in Assassin's Creed Shadow indestructible? Because that's the same argument.
I mean, it
Yeah,
depends
that's
on how
right.
you do it. I mean, if you just don't have access to the shrine, I don't give a shit. Like
Well,
it's not like you can blow up buildings and whatnot. So
the Japanese are very protective of that sort of thing in a way that the West just isn't anymore.
Correct.
So,
But I'm just saying, like we're advocating for all the possibilities in games to be open.
Yeah, no, ABF
So-
to answer. I thought the shrine damage stuff in the AZC was a bullshit virtue signal from those that wanted to find things to bitch about AC with. Like I could not give
I
a
agree.
fuck less if you could fuck up the shrines in Assassin's Creed.
I understood it, but I also said it was a slippery slope.
It is.
yes, it is a slippery slope, admittedly so. But I think that them being a little like, hey, chill, we're gonna chill back with the kids. I don't think anyone's going to fight against that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I get
Mhm.
it. Like, I'm not. You know, I'm not a parent myself, but I get
Well, I
it.
no,
You know?
hold on, because I am a parent. I got 2 kids, and I don't have any
sorry.
issue with this. I see this and I'm like, yeah, it's a video game.
But
Smash,
if
it's a
they didn't have it,
Mm.
if they didn't have it off rip to where kids, you know, made kids off limits from the get go, would you have a problem with that?
That's a really good question. No, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I look at this
Exactly.
as I worry about censorship changing the vision of the creators. Now,
Mhm.
we're supposed to believe it's a bug. I personally do not believe that, but it
But do
is
you
what
think
it
it
is.
was the developer's vision to be able to
I
run
do.
over
I do
kids?
because you have to program ragdoll physics for inertia. This is
Well,
Yeah.
not
that
an
might just be
accident.
already in the
But
engine
ragdoll
for.
physics are developed for more than just running over kids. Like they're developed for the universe
Well,
entirely.
Stop
it's like
replaying it like that, bro. It's
Sorry.
well, it's like what I said before. If it's going to be a real life simulator, it should simulate, real life events. And yes,
Yes.
there are instances, either accidentally or on purpose, of children getting run over with cars. Yes, it's fucking sick. It's awful. It's a tragedy. But I think we can all agree as human beings, regardless of our race or our culture or our sexuality, that the red line is children. You cross that red line, you're as good as fucking dead, no matter where
Yeah.
you are on planet Earth.
So I guess it depends on the game that you're making, right?
I
So you
mean,
could
you know,
say in Inzoi it would be fine, but you wouldn't think in Call of Duty you could run around and just like
Or
Right,
Assassin's
right,
Creed.
right.
them down.
yeah, I mean, you
Right.
know, even Call of Duty, you know, I don't agree with them basically redoing that whole no Russian moment, but unfortunately they did that.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different. I'm not really
Mhm.
going to be mad at developers for this. I like for me at the end of the day, I have played real life simulators and there's always been limits. You know, that I'm thankful to live in a time period in gaming where there's less limits than ever before, which is nice. But you know, some things I'm not going to be upset about.
Mhm.
There's one other angle too. Is what if they allowed children to be run over? What if that changed the ESRB rating of the game?
Yeah,
And
that's what
why they have to get rid of it.
absolutely.
Mhm.
That's probably the main reason why. Like if this changes to an M-rated title, that hurts their sales. There's a
Mhm.
whole abundance of people that technically wouldn't be able to access the game due to their age.
Wow. Just for something so, I know, small as that, just a single feature, not the action, but just that turns an age rating from one to another, which then causes, financial difficulty. And it's
Well, I think
Yes.
that's the
very
whole point of
annoying.
the age rating thing, though, because then it gets into what's the point of the ESRB if we have this overarching, like, oh, wait, but kids, red line.
Well, it was
It's
a
like,
it was a
Well, to be
product of
fair,
a
Smash, there shouldn't be an ESRB. The ESRB
no,
is
I
the-
100%, I'm with you, but I'm saying
Oh, okay.
it is there.
well,
So
it's a
since
product
it's
of another
there,
time. I wasn't alive in the 90s, so I'm actually younger than the ESRB.
Even though you look
folks,
like you were
so-
alive in the 1890s.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Despite looking like the oldest person here, yeah.
Still don't
Stab me
believe you,
in the
bro.
front more
I
often.
do not
I'm
fucking
telling you,
believe
bro.
you.
He's like 35
There's
years
no
old.
I
fucking
am
He's
way,
lying.
bro.
25 years old. I'll be 26 in
Bullshit.
June. We're gonna have a birthday stream celebrating Alyssa Mercante losing her fucking house. Okay, it's as simple as that.
Oh my god.
God damn,
are
I'm
you going to
25.
Ryan, are you going to cosplay as her aborted
Whoa.
embryo?
I
Hey,
might
yo,
as
son.
yes, I will. I'll cosplay as Alyssa Mercante's aborted fetus because I'm keeping him alive more than you ever did, bitch.
Completely unrelated, but just a moment ago, it passed through a shot that looked ironically like Brittany Venti. I want to know if Kata caught that.
Yeah,
I saw it.
does.
I wasn't
Which
gonna say.
shot?
I wasn't gonna say. Yeah, right there.
Melanie
Yeah,
Black.
does.
That's her name.
Bro,
Melanie Black.
Look, man,
There's-
you guys have been talking about the kids. Man, fuck them kids, bro. It's the cats in the game that are fire. Like,
Shout out to Michael
dude,
Jordan.
forget the fucking kids. The cats in the game, they run the show. This shit is hilarious.
But I think this gets at a bigger concern with like, what's the point of the ESRB if we now have people trying to self-regulate the industry and say, yeah, but you're hitting kids. It's like, yeah, but it's rated teen. Like, who cares? Why is this a problem?
Well, no, I'm saying that now that the bug has emerged as a bug or whatever, and people see that, it wasn't rated as you could hit kids before, but now it is, which might put it in the M category all of a sudden.
Is his
Hey
name?
guys, hold on real quick. My son wants to say hi. Okay,
Okay.
say hi.
Hi. Wait, how do I say his name again? Hypnotic or whatever?
Yeah, Hypnotic.
Mm.
Hypnic.
Hypnotic.
Hip naked.
Hip naked.
Careful, kid. You say the wrong word on this show, you are done for. Okay.
And we got Dexter too.
All
right.
Hey, let's go.
Here's the mutt. Let's hear it.
Young
Let's hear
man
the
and-
Who
dog.
let the dogs out? Who? Who let the dogs out?
You know, that's an unironically great album.
It is. It is.
It was like the song when I was like fucking
That
like
whole album
7 years old.
Start to back.
But anyway, sorry, off topic. But back to the kid thing.
I'm gonna get a dog and train him to say the N-word,
Yo, son. Wow.
which is no. I don't know what N-word y'all was thinking about. I'm talking about the word
Yeah.
no. See, look at you, caught you.
Man, fuck out of here, bro.
Wow.
I'm gonna teach my cat to salute.
Oh no, that Dankula
the
did that.
N-word way.
That's an $800 fine,
What were you
Cassie.
thinking about? Huh?
Yeah.
That aside, Inzoi is probably going to be eating Sims' lunch because EA can't get out of their ways fast enough to stop putting fucking pointless microtransactions in their games.
That's all I've been begging for. It's what got me away from. It's what got me away from The Sims in the first place.
What's EA's reaction to this going to be? Buy the company and kill it as quickly as possible.
I mean, you joke, but I mean, who the hell is this company that makes this? Inzoi? Like, who makes it? I've never
I think
even
it's
heard
a
of them.
Korean, South Korean.
Yeah, this is
'cause I
their
always-
first video game, and it's being published by the same people that publish PUBG.
Oh wow. Okay, so they're not in danger of being purchased from EA.
Well,
then.
that's good.
I
So
seen his video.
the other thing is the drama with the banning on Steam. Did you guys hear about this?
I did hear about this.
So banning people here, I find it highly concerning that you are banning people who are speaking out against the newly added agendas in your game, while allowing all the screamers who are forcing and even threatening other community members over pronouns. This, guys, gaming in 2025, this is the future of gaming. Who'd have thought, by the way? Because I was excited for the future of gaming to just keep getting better and better. And now it's just starting to devolve into just weirdos taking over the hobby and getting mad at stupid shit every single time a game comes out.
Well, to be fair, there when you say you were thinking about gaming getting better and better and better, I obviously when I was young when I had similar thoughts, but I think we kind of peaked at like the PS4 era in terms of to the point where you can only make things look so realistic. You can only do the same sort of uninspired gameplay loops over and
So
over.
you're talking about visually or like where we've peaked?
I think the mainstream AAA industry.
Yes.
That's why all the creativity is coming from indies.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's still AAAs that I love and I'm enjoying. Like, anytime Nintendo releases a new Zelda game, my ass is buying it. I'm a fucking sucker for Zelda. But as a general rule, I think that sort of PS4 era, AAA has never really recovered from hitting that apex.
Yeah, it's true.
They never will. That's the sad part, is that their whole focus is making games as realistic as possible. That's why you have games like Last of Us and what is that, Horizon Zero Dawn. They're trying to make things look as close to real life as possible. And I'm sitting here like, but the games ain't fun. So what are we doing?
I think things will recover. It's just that these companies are going to off themselves. They're doing it to themselves. Look at Ubisoft, and with that, the new wave is gonna basically say, step the fuck aside. We stepping up, and you know what? The cycle will continue where they will hit a peak, and then they will falter, they will cave, and then they will off themselves, and the cycle continues. That's just how it is, especially in the space of entertainment. It's just that I want these companies to off themselves sooner, so that hey, step the fuck aside. You have nothing new to offer me. You guys are full of shit. Please just step the fuck aside for the real motherfuckers that want to do something for me.
100%. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So they are
that true, girl.
They are currently banning people for just daring to have conversations.
My
which
question is this the developers or is this Steam? Because people are arguing that it might actually be Steam that's doing this.
Oh,
I don't know. That's always the concern with it, is you never know who's doing the banning, because
Yeah,
Steam does have
exactly.
the authority to do that too. But
Because
it is
they were saying stuff like, I'm sure they'll add mental illness eventually, so don't get your lady penis in a twist. Saying penis outright. They didn't even bother. They didn't bother to censor any. Like they didn't bother to censor penis. Like so, it's like it wouldn't surprise me if it got mass reported by people there, and Steam said, "Okay, we're taking that down."
right.
that's fucking hilarious. Why would you
That's funny.
censor something like that?
It's
Because like if you say stuff like that, like it's pretty obvious what's going to happen to you. Like people usually block out certain words on Steam,
Mm.
and that's kind of what happens because they want to not have that
Mhm.
not get clapped. But I can't say who did this for sure. It could be the developers, obviously. It could be,
Mm.
or it could be Steam themselves. I can't really say.
You can make a best guess. I mean, what's Krafton's track record of censorship? They're the owners or publishers behind this. They do have a track record with PUBG, and is there censorship in that game in regards to forums? I think it would be a bit concerning if Steam were the ones behind this censorship, because Steam, the vanguard of PC gaming under the current regime, they don't do a lot, but they seem to beat out the competition, be it console or PC related, because they don't do a lot. And I think that's the way forward. Just be a platform. Don't be a publisher. Well, publisher in that sense. Just be a platform, be a hosting platform, and rake in, the 20-30%.
Well, Steam, whether you like it or not, is the best you're
Mhm.
gonna get in gaming.
Mhm.
In terms of overall, having the mass majority of games and running with it, it's the best you're gonna get, and even still, you accept the terms of service and the terms of service like theirs and any other terms of service that you're gonna say yes to inevitably in order to indulge in the service. They have any right to terminate you at any point. Sad.
True.
It's sad that that's the case, but that is the case. They can. It's their privately owned company, and that's just the rules of the deal.
well, it
Unfortunately,
seems to me like the moderators are that they're being fed instructions from the game itself. So
could be.
they're the people that make Inzoi are saying, look, we want X, Y, and Z off limits for discussion. Stamp any of that out, because Steam actually put a letter out recently saying if there's a highly controversial thing that happens in the forums, just let it play out, because people will forget after a couple days. Because
Yeah.
if you start banning people, it draws it out longer, and that's
Mhm.
the truth.
Makes
So-
it more of a topic.
People make a big stink out of everything, so any little thing that happens.
Well,
Yep.
speaking of, that's actually a really good. Oh, I'm gonna say it. Transition. If you had to, if you've noticed the world of Inzoi, it's eerily heterosexual. What?
Why Atomfall, folks?
mean
Why
normal?
Atomfall?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking normal from what I've indulged in so far.
It's eerily normal.
Stop
Don't
being heteronormative, you bigoted, lesbianic-looking woman.
My bad. I'm on factory settings. I apologize.
Yo,
The
real talk.
distinct lack of gay zois is a known issue.
Look, I
What?
think that both sides bitching about this are some of the biggest cunts I've ever seen in my life. Like you're
Yeah.
bitching that you can't there's no gay characters to start with. Well, make all the homos, bro. Like what the fuck is the problem? You could just make them asshole. Like it's
Here's-
really
here's
that
my-
simple.
Weren't they saying the problem was they want to have kids and a family as two gay dudes? And I'm like, well, that's not how this works.
Well,
You
when
can't
I
just
hear
live
the
in
this
term "make
situation.
gay people,"
I'm not about to take
alarm
that bait.
bells start coming out of my head.
Well,
I
my
am
my
not
issue
about to
here-
take that bait.
No,
My
go on,
issue here is
Kata.
that
Indulge us.
they don't
Have
look at
at
these-
it.
They don't look at these games and it's primarily the games when they're released by the developers that
Mm.
don't have like the homosexual stuff in it that they really get mad about. And then on the flip side, they say, why don't you mod the game? Because when we mod the game, Nexus mods or something like that will just ban the shit. They'll take it off the site. That's the problem, is that it doesn't work both ways and they won't allow it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. Players will left scratching their heads for a bit, but Inzoi Studio has acknowledged the void where same-sex relationships should be.
They could be. The game is literally open to that. It
Right,
makes
but
no.
I think that they're upset that it's not just scattered
Oh,
around
yeah.
the world.
Yeah, it's essentially they
default.
want everyone else to have to see it. It's
Yep.
like these motherfuckers don't play games first off, but most importantly, they don't play games for them. They want these games to
As
be
a socio-political cause to push. It's not about playing the game.
It's more so, that too, absolutely. But it's just, I guess, the sick sense of satisfaction I guess they would get if someone that doesn't want to see that has to see that in the game. Like, how fucking mentally ill are you? I mean, we already know that you're mentally ill, but how mentally ill are you that you get off to that? Like, go into some real shit, brother. Like, stop this bullshit.
Well, I was just thinking, and I did just a tad of research on this because it is South Korean, and yes, gayness is perfectly legal in that part of the world, but it's quite a split in their society in terms of polls. It's like a 50-50 of whether it should be allowed or not. So it's more of a top down legalization rather than a bottom up gays bottom up movement. But yeah, it's not surprising that this isn't a standard feature, considering these developers come from
it is. It's like
Well,
you can make the characters, you choose, between male and female, and then you could choose whether they're interested in relationships, and then you could choose the gender they're interested in sexually. That's literally the starting point. It is there. It is a feature that is offered. It's just that the in-game characters off rip don't have that feature. But you can make all the characters you want to be gay. You can make as many of them as you want.
Let me interrupt you because you're touching on exactly what I was gonna converse here and see. I wanted to hear your thoughts on this one. While you can make a gay Zoi by tweaking the romantic preferences of any character you create, pre-made Zois out in the wild seem uninterested in playing for the other team. In fact, it's impossible for gay Zois to spawn, and same-sex relationships are impossible to achieve with them, as the game's known issues blog acknowledged yesterday.
What a dangerous precedent. It's more of a real-life simulator than I thought. Oh, they're not naturally formed. They are artificially created.
Yeah.
Homophobic. We must change it. We must change this game right now.
Granted, it is possible to have gay Zois in your game by manually making a couple already in a relationship, but if you're hoping for your simulated characters to find same-sex love on their own, the technology simply isn't there yet. Maybe this is not the game for you then.
That's what I was saying. Is they want them sprinkled around the world.
Version, gay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. We'll give you these homo ass Zois if Yasuke can stop being a booty bandit.
Damn.
Fair trade.
No,
fair fucking trade.
No, because nobody here actually gives a fuck about Assassin's Creed. Like, y'all ain't playing that shit because you want to.
true.
Let's be real now.
Hey, I'm not playing it at all. I've been playing Resident Evil, motherfucker. Like,
the only person on this panel who had a wish list for AC Shadows was the footfucker on the panel. Okay, no one else got time for that
Sorry,
shit.
I actually like Assassin's Creed, and I'm upset that they fucked it over.
Well, Cater, feet are gender neutral, so you're technically bisexual.
Yo, that's crazy. What the
I'm
hell?
gonna mail you a treadmill, you fuck.
At least I'm not 5'6".
Damn.
Damn. Do we have any final thoughts on this game and the
Who the fuck? It's a light simulator. If you want your dude to be gay, make him gay.
Yeah, exactly. Woke left and woke right. Stop fucking crying about the game. The game is devoid of ideology altogether, and it doesn't seem like it wants to conform to either fucking side. It just wants to make a detailed real life simulation that, I think they did a good job thus far. And to be honest with you, if they end up patching in like same sex relationship capable couples, like, I don't personally care because that's like real life shit anyway. So it happens, but I'm not. This is fine too. I have no problem with this. Like, make a gay couple stop fucking crying, and
they could make
stop
DLCs.
Crying. Stop crying,
on.
fucking Yorch Torch homo. Like, you're such a fucking loser.
Well, they could make DLCs.
Gamers, do you think we should stop crying?
They could make DLCs like Western World DLC with all the more liberal-minded stuff. They could have a Middle East DLC. You could push them off a tall building. You
Oh
could
my
make
God.
DLCs, depending on different parts of the world for your real
You
life.
could choose between 3
simulate.
different parts of the world. There's one that
Ooh.
simulates like California, I believe. One that's
Mhm.
simulates Korea. One that simulates I don't know, like Dubai or something. I forget. I forget
Oh
the third one.
no!
No, no.
Cassie.
Dubai is actually pretty cool because it's in the Gulf states where they only care about money. Outside that, in the Middle East, they'll push you off a building. They'll push you off a building. But yeah,
Jeez.
carry on.
If they get what they want, it makes me think then they'll say, well, there's not enough frequency of it, and then that makes me think maybe they'll just get a slider bar of how gay the entire world is.
It's
You
a
know
it's
what?
a
If
take
it's
an
a
inch,
slider
get 'em
bar,
out, dang.
if it's a slider bar, and so that I can choose for there to still be no homos, and then
Yeah.
like the most gayest person in the world could make everyone homo. Hey man, that just means more sales for them, and everyone else is accommodated. So I don't even care about that.
But then they'll get upset that we bring the slider all the way down. So then
Yeah,
they'll
of
say
course.
there has to be a minimum to where it can't go all the way, down.
Of course,
Let's
we know
simplify
what
the
it is.
world and set it on fire. How about that? Then everything's the same.
Hold on one
sure.
second.
Oh,
This dude's over
Smash
there
is just
gooning
taking
in
a
the
piss.
corner.
He
He's
wants
supposed
to
to
raise-
be in charge of the stream. He's over there gooning.
He's squeezing one out.
I had to let my dog out. My dog
He was
was
looking at all this gay Inzoi stuff.
stuff.
No, my dog was scratching the door. I'm like,
He
"All right,
saw that
Aw.
gay Inzoi stuff and was like, hold on one second.
Yeah.
No, this is just the kind of stuff that makes me yearn for the time of, not to sound like a boomer, but of the completed games that just get shipped and there are no updates to them. It's just like, that's
Yeah.
the fucking game.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You can't bitch about it. That's the game. You want to complain and want a sequel to it with different stuff? Have at it. But in a weird way, it's like having the ability to update and patch games can actually be a very annoying thing because it gives empowerment to people that just want to whine and bitch and moan all the time. To
It's
get
been abused. It was such a great idea and tool off rip, but now it's just completely abused and like any great tool ends up becoming like evil. It's sad to say.
100%.
I think they should not address it at all and let someone make a mod for it.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? It's a really good point. Okay, and we got a few more minutes left to get to the final topic. Anyone have anything left to say on this before we move on to it?
Nope, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. We got